So we're there. So welcome, friends. It's a lovely feeling to be in front of you all over again. It's our kind of always an attempt to come up with ideas, come up with new things for the benefit of all of us. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about the panel also who's there with us. So it's all about talking about things which matter for all of us together. And today we have a very interesting topic, which is about how business associates of Origo in particular and industry in general can really help the businesses to grow. And I have very able panel with me. I mean, like these are like my friends who have been kind of kind enough to join me on this webinar. We have Mr. Sumit Chhibber, who is from Goenka, like partner of Goenka business, and he kind of comes up with that kind of an experience which has corporate bent as well, the bent of that street smartness of kind of a journal a business person who comes from comes from almost a town kind of a background. So we'll hear from his side that what it takes to be a good successful business associate as far as our markets are concerned, whether it is we talk about structured trade finance, or we talk about procurement finance, or we talk about Mandi system, which we are trying to kind of develop in recent past. We have started. We have Mr. Dheeraj also with us, and Mr. Dheeraj again is kind of a new relationship for me, but I don't know. I mean, like Dheeraj, this gives me immense pleasure to kind of have discussion for the benefit of the people and for the benefit of this panel as well, with so knowledgeable people like you and Sumit ji. Thanks a lot for kind of sparing time for us. I have my colleague with me, Mr. Swapnil Nagar. He leads our structured trade finance as well, procurement finance kind of activities, and again he carries more than 20 years of experience of these markets. And I'm hopeful that today we'll have very candid discussion about what this industry has been till now, who are we as such, and where these two gentlemen see this industry going forward, because today is our time to hear from the experts actually. Fine, I'm like we will just set the tone initially. I'll have few slides about Origo and e-Mandi per se. Then Swapnil will talk about structured trade finance, how we do that, and then bit of procurement finance. Thereafter, it'll be all about how Sumit and Dheeraj think about the things, and how they think that people can be benefited, how they think that if further a new generation of business associates come along in this journey, then how the opportunities can really pan out. So I'll have few slides about Origo as well my product which I lead, which is e-Mandi, and thereafter we'll talk about things in general. I'm going to present a kind of a presentation about 6-7 slides are there, and thereafter it will be with Swapnil. So as title says, that we are going to talk about the business opportunities for business associates with Origo Commodities. But Origo Commodity is I hope my screen is visible, Swapnil.
Yeah, KV, it's quite visible.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about who are we till now, and what have we been doing till now, what opportunities we offer to business associates in particular and industry in general, and thereafter we'll have discussion about structured trade finance. If we talk about Origo as a house, so I take a lot of pride in who are we, and we have been in this sphere from last almost now more than a decade. We have a presence in 15 odd states till now. We have a kind of like asset base of around 12,800 crores to manage in our about 500 plus warehouses, which is about 5 million odd tons of warehousing space which we manage day in and day out. Most of that we are serving to few government, like state governments are there, then central government is there. We have an employee base of about 1,500 odd employees are there in our overall operations. But more than this, going forward, probably our pursuit is towards creating an ecosystem which gives almost a comprehensive solution to the people who really want to kind of be relevant to this industry. When I say this industry is I'm talking about commodities market. So starting from procurement to warehousing to financing and e-Mandi. So all these services would be are available to the people who come and kind of take services. So in procurement, we provide best of the pricing, and kind of we try to have a lot of sourcing which is direct from farmer also. And so I mean, like, that's the kind of benefit which we want to really build upon also in future, wherein we can provide kind of the raw material to the industry at best of the prices, wherein we ensure that even farmers are going to get, the producers are going to get the best of the pricing for their material any which way. So this is a kind of a platform which provide access to both kind of processors as well the producers to come at a platform and have the benefit of both of the sides put together. And then warehousing is service which is any which way all processors would need. Invariably, once you are there in any kind of industry, financing is integral part. And we are going to talk a lot about financing in this webinar today. And in financing, we have primarily two products which Swapnil is going to explain to us. The product which I handle personally is e-Mandi, wherein this is kind of a place where we try to have a lot of participants who come together for bringing about the best of the prices for the market participant in one go. So we are not talking about one mandi, we are not talking about two mandi, we are talking about a nationwide marketplace wherein the buyer of Kerala can talk to the supplier of Punjab, or a buyer from Rajasthan can talk to the supplier of Tamil Nadu. So that is the kind of platform which was needed, and that is the kind of platform which we provide to our clientele. If we talk about the commodities which we handle till now, this is only indicative list actually. We have a bouquet of about 60 odd commodities which we handle, and but most of the commodities which are voluminous are being handled by us on a very routine and regular basis. I'll talk about bit about Origo e-Mandi. So Origo e-Mandi is nothing but our kind of our effort to bring the efficiency in procurement process itself. So when I say efficiency means, I mean, like, as of now, there are a lot of layers in between the producer and the consumer. That layering may have induced bit of inefficiency in the system, and I mean, like, for last almost 50-60 odd years. But now things are moving at a very brisk pace as far as technology is concerned. Now the markets are seeing latest technology interventions, and then entire effort is towards bridging the gap between the producer and the consumer. When I say for us, consumer is kind of processor. Fine. So we provide a platform where processors can come and buy material directly from the producers or big stockists. And the best of the thing is that nobody can really pressurize the other person. The prices which are going to come, nobody can say that these prices are good prices or bad prices. All the prices which are traded on platform like ours is true price. When I say true price, means this price is available. This price is kind of is made by a lot of market participants put together. So if there is a price which is made by one participant or two participants, that price may not be representative price of the market. But when we say we have thousands of people who trade on us, and when they come out of with one price, so that price ought to be very representative price of the market rather than influenced price by any of the parties. And in fact, digitization is the way forward. So entire the operations of the trade gets digitized as soon as you route your trade through e-Mandi. And our biggest of the benefits, if we talk about, so the biggest kind of roadblock for physical trading had been transparency in the system. So when I say transparency, it means that earlier, even as of now, if some mandi is trading at a price, suppose we have a mandi like in Indore soybean comes. So इंदौर का सोयाबीन किस रेट पे बिक रहा है, इसका मान लीजिए कोई साउथ में कोई आदमी है या साउथ में कोई मिलर है, उसको पता करने में हो सकता है 1-2 दिन का समय लग जाए। पर जैसे ही आप प्लेटफॉर्म हमारे जो प्लेटफॉर्म है, जैसे ई मंडी का प्लेटफॉर्म, ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आते हैं तो लाइक यू गेट बेस्ट ऑफ द बोथ ऑफ द वर्ल्ड्स, लाइक जो भी हो रहा है वो आपके सामने हो रहा है। इनफैक्ट यू कैन बाय, यू कैन सेल एट द सेम प्राइस. Nobody would ever know who is the actual counterparty, because a lot of trades are happening anonymously actually. So there is no identification of the market participant, but at the same time the actions are visible on the screen, so it becomes fairly transparent to everybody, when whoever it is, whether it is buyer or seller, to discover the true market price. So discovery of the price is my actually product. So my product is price, and going forward, once we have good linkages of FPOs and processors, I'm sure the prices which we are going to come up with are really going to make a lot of sense to processors as well the producers both. In fact, once you route your trade through a system like ours, इससे आपका जो काउंटर पार्टी रिस्क है वो ऑटोमेटिकली कम हो जाता है, बिकॉज वन, वी वुड हैव मार्जिन्स इन प्लेस फॉर एवरी ट्रेड, फाइन, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम मार्जिन द एसओपीज, जो ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर्स जो सेट ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, दोज वुड नॉट अलाउ पीपल टू रियली गो बियॉन्ड द ट्रेड्स. जो भी रूल ऑफ द गेम है उसको कंप्लाई करके ही हम ट्रेड्स को पूरा करेंगे. तो जब हम ऐसा कोई प्रोसेस सेट करते हैं, तो जो काउंटर पार्टी रिस्क है आज, अदरवाइज क्या होता है, अगर मेरे को मान लीजिए मेरे को कोई माल सप्लाई करना है, मुझे 20% एडवांस मिल भी गया, अभी मुझे मालूम नहीं है कि ये जो बाकी का 80% पैसा है वो आने वाला 1 दिन में आएगा कि 5 दिन में आएगा कि 10 दिन में आएगा. पर जब हम किसी सिस्टम के थ्रू रूट करते हैं, ई मंडी सिस्टम के थ्रू रूट करते हैं, तो ये तो तय है कि अगर हमने बोला है कि 5 दिन में पैसा आएगा, तो सिस्टम विल एंश्योर कि 5 दिन में पैसा आए. अदरवाइज सिस्टम आपका रिस्क कवर करने के लिए जो काउंटर पार्टी जो है, उसको जो भी आपने रूल ऑफ द गेम सेट किए हैं उसके ऊपर कंपेल करता है, उसको बाध्य करता है. यस, इट कैन नॉट एलिमिनेट द रिस्क. मैं ये कहूं कि इसमें रिस्क जीरो हो जाएगा, तो रिस्क जीरो कभी भी नहीं होता, क्योंकि जो रूल ऑफ द गेम के अंदर के जो रिस्क हैं वो तो रहेंगे रहेंगे. हमने कहा कि 10% मार्जिन है, 10% मार्जिन लेके भी अगर बायर ने 10% मार्जिन दे भी दिया, ट्रेड भी हो गया, उसके बाद अगर बायर नहीं लेने आएगा, तो देन आई कैन पे यू दैट 10% मार्जिन ओनली. रेस्ट वी न्यू व्हाट आर द टर्म्स ऑफ द ट्रेड. इससे क्या है कि अपना जो ट्रांजेक्शनल जितने भी हैं, जो एक्सपेंसेस हैं, वो भी अपने आप में काफी एफिशिएंट हो जाएंगे. आपका एक आदमी बैठ के हो सकता है अक्रॉस इंडिया की बाइंग कर रहा हो, हो सकता है आपका सिर्फ एक अकाउंटेंट मिलके आपका जो पहले जो 5 अकाउंटेंट काम कर रहे होते थे, वो एक अकाउंटेंट कर पा रहा हो. तो जो एफिशिएंसी जो वो काफी इंप्रूव हो जाती है, क्योंकि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे जब डिजिटाइज हो जाती हैं चीजें, तो उसके बाद में ट्रेल मिलना बहुत आसान हो जाता है. इवन जो इसमें फाइनेंस मिलना है, इसमें इसको डिस्पोजल जो आगे होना है, वो भी काफी स्मूथ हो जाता है और काफी फास्ट हो जाता है. तो ई मंडी जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म जो आज हमने बनाए हैं, आगे आने वाले समय में ये और इवॉल्व होंगे. आप मानिए कि आज हमने ऑलमोस्ट 5-6 महीना का जर्नी किया है ई मंडी में, और आने वाले समय में हमारा जो ऑफरिंग रहेगा, वो जो प्रोडक्ट ऑफरिंग है, उसमें काफी सारी चीजें नई आएंगी, जिसके बारे में हम अपने आगे वाले जो वेबिनार्स रहेंगे उनमें आप लोगों को बताते रहेंगे. बट ये है कि ये इवॉल्व होंगी चीजें, और सब लोगों के फायदे के लिए ही इवॉल्व होंगी. आप ये मान के चलिए कि टेक्नोलॉजी कभी भी एज सच अगर हम सही तरीके से प्रयोग कर रहे हैं, तो वो जिंदगी आसान काफी बना सकती है, और काफी कुछ एफिशिएंसी लेके आ सकती है, काफी कुछ कॉस्ट रिडक्शन में हेल्प कर सकती है. और वही काम हमारा ई मंडी के थ्रू हम करने जा रहे हैं. This is it from my side. Now, Swapnil, you can talk about your products like TF and Profane, and then we can come back to our friends.
Thank you, Kevi. Thanks a lot. Let me welcome both Sumit and Dheeraj on this platform. Thanks a lot for joining us and giving your precious time. Let me take you through our two products, which are trade finance and procurement finance. I'll just share the screen and is my screen visible?
Yeah, is there?
Yeah. So as KV already given a brief about Origo. I will not take much of time. I'll just run through our two products, which is trade facilitation and procurement finance. So what is trade facilitation, which we called as Trade 5? So it's a structured trade finance business. We, as a Origo, what services we provide? I'll just give you few examples. Like for someone who wants to stock commodities, we can help a client in different ways. Like it's a one point of contact. First of all, we can provide warehousing space, professional management of the commodity. We can help in procurement. We have a very large and experienced procurement team, which is in across 15 states. We can efficiently procure for our clients. Of course, it's a financial product, so we can help on finance also. So by taking margin, we can procure for our customers. We can help in sales liquidation also. So whenever they require somebody sitting in, let's say in South, and he wants to keep stocks in Bihar, for example, maize. So he can peacefully sit at his place. We can do everything for him, right from procurement, finance, and then sales also. It's a trade product, as I mentioned. It's a forward contract. So I'll come through what exactly will benefit to the customer. Origo will obviously acquire all the necessary Mandi licenses, taxation, and back-to-back payment service. So benefits to customer. So it's a kind of loan for trading of commodities, and it's a hassle-free, unlike the other financial institutions wherein there are a lot of compliances and everything. It's a single window kind of product which you can easily avail the loan. No need to look out for SCM services. We will take care of entire supply chain as well as the warehousing part on the city. The most important is the off-balance sheet solution. So it will not impact any of your existing loan structure. It will be off-balance sheet. So nothing will be, nothing is going to affect on your balance sheet. The inventory will be kept in our name. So that is the prime benefit of it. And it's a forward contract. So you are already having that material, but you need not to show the inventory in your books. So I'm talking about as a client's perspective. And client will benefit, like he can purchase 4 to 5 times of commodity what he can put as a margin. So minimal investment and maximum chances to get benefit from market arbitrage. I'll just share an example right away. It's a real example what we have done. So we had our customers sitting in South India, and they wanted to have maize procurement. We did the entire supply chain solution for them. We hired a warehouse on their behalf. We procured for them, and we kept a stock. They gave us only 20% or 25% of margin, and in turn they could get the returns more than that, because the prices they started at 1400. We kept the market buying at 1400, and now it's almost 1900 rupees. So you can imagine the amount of benefit the buyers can get. And there is a transparency, automation of PO and SO, so one need not to worry on the pricing part also. Liquidation support, as I mentioned earlier. So for non-operational segment also of customers, we can help them in supporting liquidation. Prompt payment to suppliers, which can also give them benefit in terms of getting cash discount from the suppliers. So if you pay efficiently, you will get a benefit of cash discount, which can be passed on to the client. We have digital surveillance. We keep CCTV cameras in every warehouse, and that can be monitored real time. So that is also a benefit which others can't. I mean, this is a additional value-added service which we provide to our customers. We give daily transaction reports inward and outward. That is also a big service which we provide. These are the approved commodities, but the list will go on and on. So we are doing all these commodities: paddy, rice, wheat, so all agri commodities, be it grains, pulses, or edible oil, non-edible oil. We are covering all oil seeds also. So these are all the commodities which we are currently handling. So it's just commercials which we are doing. So margin would be somewhere around 20 to 30. I will not take much time on that. The storage period is 6 to 9 months minimum lock-in. It depends on the warehouse to warehouse or the service provider. Now I'll come to procurement finance. So this is in general called as supplier bill discounting. There are two ways to do it. Some corporates or some buyers don't require financing; they require pure procurement. So where we can help, because we have a large team across India where we can procure material. Supposing someone of South Miller, floor miller wants to buy a rack of wheat, or for that matter, or by truck he wants UP wheat. So we can easily procure that wheat and supply to that customer on a very efficient manner. We can also provide the credit to that client if he wants to avail that facility. Otherwise, he can easily avail that procurement facility. The other thing, I think I would rather like to discuss this with Sumit and our panelists on more detail, what they feel about this product and what is the way forward. I'll just run through you that on this bill discounting thing, supposing somebody wants to have to avail credit facility, we can provide them credit facility based on their due diligence for 15 days, 30 days, 45 days, or up to 60 days of credit. So that can give them more and more chances to have procurement, much more procurement in the harvest season. So that's a basic benefit of this procurement finance. I'm just going through the benefits to the customer again. So farm gate procurement from APMC, FPOs, farmers, traders network. Procurement in bulk to reduce associates cost. So it's if you buy in bulk, you can easily dictate your terms in terms of getting cash discounts and pricing and all. So that is also one of the benefits. Pulling and aggregation of raw materials, so that the vendor risk is also with us. So that way, a client can rest assured of his supplies. I mean, these are established commodity specific source linkages. So all the, and most of all that geographical presence for procurement in Andhra, AP, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra, MP, Bihar, and that list is going on. So we have now started in UP, Gujarat also. We have established infrastructure and long-term guaranteed contract. I would not take much of time on this. So this is the procurement model. Sorry. So Origo can, this is our supply network from PSCs, farmers, traders. Will supply PO agreement with all these customers. We are already supplying to these customers currently. And one can avail this kind of facility from Origo. This is the entire chain, how this process flows. So product requirement call, the step, whatever the quantity is required is specified. Then we have supplier confirmations, price negotiation, back-to-back PO, to the customer, then we will provide our invoice to the client. Then it will have GRN, payment to suppliers. Will get payment from client and reconciliation. So that is the entire process flow of this. You can anytime contact us. These are numbers and email address where you can contact us. So that's all from my side. These are all our existing customers. So these are the client list which we are serving as of now, and these are the bank associated with us.
Thanks, Swapnil. Thanks a lot. It throws a lot of light on what we've been doing together as a team. Fine, I mean, but whatever we do, if we are relevant to the people whom we are serving, is the factor. Fine, and that validation can come from the two gentlemen which are there on the panel. I mean, what are we up to till now, and where are we, kind of moving ahead. So Sumit, अब क्या फील आता है अभी तक जो इंडस्ट्री है, ये मतलब अभी जो भी पिछले 10-12 साल में हुआ इस इंडस्ट्री में, स्ट्रक्चर्ड ट्रेड फाइनेंस में या ई मंडी में, so what do you think? I mean, have we been able to do the justice to the expectations of the people till now?
See, answer is yes, obviously, because in e-Mandi kind of a thing, the problem was only, so in any trade, the problem is of trust. If the platform is able to bring in trust in the trade, then I think the problem is sorted. And trust can be built through the transparency, which you follow through the processes, as you said, SOP is being followed and all that. That's something which brings a lot of trust. So somebody sitting in Karnataka will not have any kind of a trust on a trader or somebody else who is sitting in, let's say, Jalandhar, right? Yeah. So he needs somebody very authentic through whom he can trade on that particular commodity. So I think with e-Mandi, I think that trust factor is being built. Obviously, as the volumes will grow, that trust will increase. But till now, what I have understood is that I think the kind of volumes you people have been able to deliver, it has been pretty good numbers that you have been able to deliver. And that brings a lot of trust between the guy who's buying and the guy who's selling, because the trust from both sides is very equally important. Second is that the price which is going to be identified out of this process has to be a win-win situation, right? That's another part of it. So the seller should not think that I have sold it at a lesser price, and the buyer should also not think that I have bought it at a higher price, right? So that mix can be done because it's an auction process. That's a very fantastic term, because eventually you bring in a lot of sellers on the platform who will then bid. Okay, and there'll be a lot of buyers who can again bid on it, right? So that way, this bidding process will bring some kind of a benefit on both the sides, right? So trust and the price discovery mechanism is something which I think is fantastic so far as this e-Mandi platform is concerned. Coming from the business associate perspective, I think since we have been doing a lot of work on advising our clients on financials and all that, giving them advice as to how they can raise funds and all, this is something which can be an extended service which we can give it to them. Till now, we were not approaching them with that approach that, okay, I can help you do a trade as well. So that's something which we think is not our forte. So now with you people being there, you are, since we are associated with you and we've been doing a lot of financing work with you, it makes a lot of sense for us because the trust factor is there that you will do whatever trade happens through you will give us that kind of a similar pedigree of understanding in terms of what you can deliver, right? So that confidence is there. So both the things are very good when it comes to the business associate. That's on the e-Mandi side of it. So I think I'll request Dheeraj if you can share something on e-Mandi and then we can move to
Thank you. Trade I think Sumit has mentioned mostly all the things. As TV has also mentioned, the digitization, through the digitization, see, earlier we don't have this kind of access, to the market. Now, thanks to the digitization and the technology that we have been able to access the real-time, we are doing real-time transactions, and we have access to those people who are not there in the market. So if I'm sitting in the Karnataka and if I want to get a connection in Bihar, so it would be very difficult for me to go through, there are India Mart platforms, there are other platforms also where we can do, but the kind of trust what we can build, which this platform we can get it, because all those companies which are on these platforms, those are authenticated by Origo. So when Origo has put a stamp on it, so it gives a confidence to the buyer as well as the seller. And so through the transparency and the quality of the product and the kind of the cost of the funds, which I say, because in any business, what is more important is the cost of the product and the quality of the product. So if we are getting a good quality at a competitive price, then we can do a better business. We have a better business prospects. So in this e-Mandi platform, the transparency is there, the tailor-made solutions which you guys have been giving to people, those are very nice. And through the technology, you are accessing to more farmers, because in India, if you see, there are the internet users, it's right now is 120 million. So it has been increasing. The new generation, they just don't want to get into those old methods of selling the products. That is why if you see the government, the laws which the government wants to implement, which there has been a thing going on with the farmers. If you see in that, the government, the first law is this only, because the farm produce can be sold to even to the retailers. They can have their own terms with the corporates. They can send to the retailers. They can sell their stuff directly, or they can sell through e-Mandis. And then so that the accessibility has been increased. So that one factor which Sumit has also mentioned, that trust. So what Origo is getting into is that trust. So when the trust is there, so you are getting a trusted supplier, you are getting the finance to back to it, so that they till the time it reaches the end customer, you have the facility from the seller and to the buyer's warehouse. So you are bridging that gap. So all these things comes together. It makes Origo is a very good platform to come on, and these kind of things. Obviously, it will, all the technology, it is evolving day by day.
Yeah.
So I think that was a very good thing about it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dheeraj.
Can we just put the numbers or the magnitude of the opportunity? So we are like 3.05 trillion kind of a economy right now, right? And agriculture contributes around 20% of it. So you can very well imagine the size of the trade we are talking about. It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Sumit, the kind of opinion which you both have, sounded, gives us a lot of courage, because it's just not very easy journey to tread. It's a very difficult path to break the shackles of traditional ways of doing business. Though we respect traditional ways of business, but then technology has its own say now. Fine. And
this comes over a period of time only. Yeah.
It can only come very recently. This week itself, we completed our first trade involving an FPO. Now, the beauty is, we could connect a direct producer to a direct, processor, and we could pay the producer at the time of lifting of the material itself. The FPO was so happy that otherwise उनका payment आने में 8 दिन, 10 दिन, 15 दिन कितना कटौती हो के आएगा ये नहीं पता. तो वो जो एक satisfaction है ना, bringing about the change in the market, and that is where we create a lot of value also to the market participants. Like अगर आज सुमित जी आपका कोई client है, धीरज जी आपका कोई client है जिसको बिहार से मक्का चाहिए, स्वप्निल की टीम, हमारी टीम, हम पूरा प्रयास करते हैं कि फार्मर से डायरेक्ट प्रोक्योर करके आपके क्लाइंट्स को दिया जाए. And I think that's the best of the scenario for both of us, like farmers के लिए भी और आपके जो processor जो clients हैं उनके लिए. So over to you, Swapnil. I'm like you if you want to add.
That's what the beauty of this product is. Like, you need not to go out of your office, and you can easily procure 40, 50, 100,000 tons of commodity in the harvest time, and you can avail that arbitrage benefit. Sumit, I would also like to, from you and from Dheeraj ji, to throw some light on this procurement finance business. What are the challenges? please.
Yeah, I think both these Readyfy and Profin, both are fantastic products. I think Readyfy, why I think so, is a fantastic product because see, look at the banking right now. Okay, agriculture doesn't work on a method which normally a banker will evaluate at, right? Normally the working capitals are evaluated through a MPBF method, right? इतना turnover रहेगा तो इतना आपको working capital मिलेगा. But agri and all these commodities doesn't work that way. There is always an opportunity. Sometimes it is not there. So whenever there is an opportunity, where and from where the guy is going to get the money? That's the biggest problem. So in those scenarios wherein I think the traditional banking channels will not be able to bring that kind of a money into the system, I think this is something which is a fantastic tool for all those guys whenever an opportunity comes. Because see, the TAT of a banker to give you a fund is much higher as compared to the kind of a TAT you can bring on the table for these guys. Because opportunities in agri commodities are pretty like they come and they go very fast, right? So eventually the decision making has to be very quick, which I think the kind of a product you have will be, obviously it has to be like that only. So this gives a lot of advantage when it comes to getting that opportunity kind of a thing wherein you people can come and play a very substantial role in it. Profin, I think that's one of the fantastic product I have seen till now. I have spoken to at least 20 big guys. None of them have said no to it. The best part is because the cost of fund, if you calculate mathematically, comes out to be almost negligible. Because the cash discount which you set off against this cost, which you're going to charge, will effectively take it to almost a zero kind of a scenario. So he'll be getting a 30-60 days kind of a working capital cycle also. At the same time, because he's getting a cash discount, he'll be able to set off the entire thing. And it's unsecured. The biggest part is whosoever is there on or as an audience with us right now will understand that getting an approval from a bank is not very difficult. It becomes easy. But getting all those legalities cleared is something, documentation is a big pain. So getting those collaterals cleared and all is something which is a big pain. In these kind of products wherein it has to move very fast, eventually your collaterals are not involved. So it's a kind of an unsecured kind of a product wherein there is no underlying collateral involved. So that gives a lot of advantage because there's no hassle involved in it. So that's, I think, on the Profin side of it. 20 guys, all big shots, they have been pretty happy. They want to try with this product, and a couple of them have started doing it. So that's, I think, on the Profin side of it.
Dheeraj, your take?
Yeah, yes. I think for any supply chain financing we talk about, like Sumit has just said. So see, when the banks, after this 2016 episode of Nirav Modi, like as we all know, the banks are much more conservative in evaluating any case. So the mostly unsecured part, if you see, there are like 35 or 37 or 40 banks in India. They are for the unsecured loan. They are mostly for salaried or the professional people, not for the traders or the businessmen. If for any businessman or a trader, if they have to get any kind of finance from the bank, there are a lot of complications, and the banks are more conservative in evaluating their credibility. So if we are offering, see, the point is, when we talk about the cost of funds for anything, if the buyer is getting a finance through these kind of platforms along with the product, so that would be a win-win for everyone. And the criteria what you guys having are not that conservative. You just see what kind of for how long you've been in this business, and the kind of the evaluation what you do, the time period for which you are in the business, and the kind of business you have been doing so far with which companies you have been doing business. So whatever the evaluation part is there, you have been doing. So in that, if the person is getting a working capital, I think that is the plus point of it. So that is the main part. Like if you are getting the finance along with the product, nothing like it. Why would not somebody get it?
Sumit ji.
Correct.
कुछ ऐसी चीजें जो आपको लगता है कि शायद हम लोग अपने प्रोडक्ट लाइन में ऐड करें जिससे कि लोगों की सहूलियत थोड़ी और बढ़ पाए, भले वो ई मंडी फ्रंट पे हो या फिर वो अपन जो स्ट्रक्चर ट्रेड फाइनेंस फ्रंट है इसके ऊपर हो, या प्रोफिन में अगर कोई आपको लगता है कि कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट की दरकार है, तो थोड़ा उसको आप आर्टिकुलेट करिए।
देखिए, मार्केट में जो ये प्रोडक्ट्स हैं ये, और देयर आर कपल ऑफ अदर प्लेयर्स आल्सो हु आर डूइंग इट, जो कर रहे हैं, एंड एवरीबॉडी हैज अ डिफरेंट वे ऑफ डूइंग इट. ओके, इट्स नॉट दैट somebody is doing right and somebody is doing it wrong. It's only that processes whatever they think are right as per the credit parameters and to their risk appetite, जो उनके हिसाब से उनको ठीक लगता है वैसा वो कर लेते हैं. So to give you an example of e-Mandi, I think e-Mandi is something wherein GST is something which is going to play a very critical role, obviously, because that's something more to do with compliance, and that's something which is a problem for everyone, right? If it is not taken care properly. So on that particular piece, I think how those kind of input tax credit will be moving and all that is something we still need to see, because we have done a couple of trades wherein I think this still needs to be established. That is wherein that stack needs to be looked at very, very differently. So that's more of a compliance also. That's why it's very important also from a trade perspective. Otherwise, I think it's a pure sale and a purchase kind of a transaction, nothing exceptional. It is only that you have to increase the number of people on both the sides so that the trades can happen very transparently and with a good benefit to all of them. So that's on part of it. Yeah.
So I'm like on this GST front, normally हम लोग जब भी ऑनलाइन ट्रेड का अगर बात करते हैं तो जो लॉ ऑफ लैंड है वो प्रिवेल करता है. मेरा जो प्लेटफॉर्म है वो प्राइस एस्टेब्लिश करने में हेल्प करता है, but rest of the things would fall in place the way a normal compliance regime would happen. I mean, like there are no different rules or set of compliances to be done specifically for the trades which are routed through places like e-Mandi. So it's going to be absolutely the problems or the advantages which are there. Otherwise, in the physical market, we are also going to carry those things. But yes, digitization से थोड़ा आसान हो जाएंगी चीजें उनको हैंडल करना. At least जो ट्रेल है मिलना वो थोड़ा सा आसान हो जाएगा. Dheeraj ji, sorry.
The other thing is on the quality part of it, obviously, because commodity में सबसे ज़्यादा rejection तो quality की वजह से ही आता है. So how is that we are going to ensure that the material which is being procured from one place and it goes to another, because rejections are very common in commodities. So how is that we are going to ensure that we procure the material, those quality standards are maintained, and the quality which has been really required has been delivered to the buyer, is something which is going to be the challenge. That's wherein I think the differentiator is to be created between you and the other players in the market.
Correct. So primarily in this, you'll have two kinds of trades, Sumit ji. तो धीरज इसमें क्या है कि दो ट्रेड है. एक तो एज इज वेरियस बेसिस पे जो आज की डेट में ट्रेड होता है उसको डिजिटाइज करेंगे कि like we can send the samples, or we can send the pics of that, or we can send the video which is available on the screen as well. So that is one way. Otherwise we can trade the quality specifications directly. So दोनों ही तरीके के ट्रेड होंगे, और जिस तरीके के ट्रेड में एंटर कर रहे हैं उस तरीके के ट्रेड का जो भी अपन एडवांटेज या डिसएडवांटेज जो मानते हैं वो अपन कैरी करेंगे. बट यस, आवर ऑनेस्ट परस्यूट इज दैट व्हाटएवर इज बीइंग गेटिंग डिलीवर्ड should fetch the best of the price to them, whoever is the supplier, and whoever is paying should pay for the quality which is getting delivered to that guy. So और उसमें कहीं पे भी अगर कोई gaps आएंगे तो then this system is going to evolve to that level where we can reduce those gaps and where we can address the pains of both of the sides.
Yes, and maybe you can have some third party quality agencies getting on your portal. So this will benefit even your company and even the buyer and the seller.
Sure.
I mean, like all the stakeholders in the supply chain, they all would benefit with once they have the assurance on the quality part is stamped and by some quality company, like SGS or something. So if you give them, that will be on the buyer's cost, but the only point is they will get an assurance on this.
Yeah. So Sumit, since we have this call specifically meant for business associates, so like what is your message for the people who want to really enter into this new field of business as business associate to the organizations like ours? I mean, like what do you tell them, and where do you see this segment of business going forward?
I think this is a very fantastic segment to be in, because for lot of reasons. One is, obviously this has never been done by the business associates. Okay, the traditional business of a guy is to help procure finance, right? That's wherein I think most of the guys stops, whether it is a personal loan, business loan, or maybe a working capital limit or something like that. But right now, if you look at the companies, they're looking for solutions which are which are not traditional ones, okay, which brings a lot of other advantages also. To give you an example, like off balance sheet, as Swapnil has said, there are a couple of products which are off balance sheet. So why an off balance sheet product is required? All your big corporates are right now looking for off balance sheet, because that helps them improve their credit rating as well, and also it helps their internal rating with the banker also improve. So a lot of so they try to keep the balance sheet light. So a lot of people are opting from the traditional funding to these structured finance products, because eventually they want to keep their balance sheet light, and obviously the rating is one big parameter, because now everybody above 5 crore, all accounts needs to be rated. That's why I think this has been a very important kind of a factor. One. Second, in the traditional model, there are a lot of people. There's no uniqueness in terms of what we are offering as an advisor. Okay, if I sit with a client, talk to him about a cash credit limit or an OD limit, he can teach me more than what I know, right? That way, because they have also been doing it since ages. So there's nothing new that I've been doing with him. So the moment I go to him, so I'll share my example also, wherein I met one of the biggest suppliers in sugar. So wherein this guy was like, he was not aware of about a couple of the products which we said are there in the market, and he was pretty happy looking at it. So as you spoke about FPOs and all that, we are now creating an FPO for them. Obviously, the FPO produce is going to be purchased by these guys. So these are the value additions which they're going to look from a business associate. Because see, a working capital advisor or a term lending advisor, there are a lot of people who can come and sit with him and talk to him and tell them, okay, boss, I can give you 50 paisa rate lower here and there. But these are very long-term sustainable things which we can offer to our clients. That's why it becomes very, very important that we understand these products from, once again, from you people, and then try to do it with a couple of our very, very close clients. The moment we understand that these products, this is the way it works with the, obviously understanding the process and everything is very important. So you do it with one or two of your very close clients. And then eventually, once you have understood the product, then you can go directly to the market and then pitch it to the masses. And I'm telling you, the hit ratio and the response of these products, I'm telling you, is phenomenal. I have no doubt. I have pitched it to 20 guys. Not even a single guy has said no to it. Great. This is what it can bring in.
Great.
Thank you so very much, Sumit ji. Dheeraj ji, मैं काफी देर से सोच रहा था कि जो मेरे पास आज जो ऑडियंस है, उनमें बहुत सारे एस्पायरेंट्स होंगे कि हमें अच्छा काम करना है लाइफ में. And I can proudly say that I am talking to a person who's genuinely very successful in what he's doing. Fine. आपका जो स्ट्रक्चर ट्रेड फाइनेंस का या अपन सप्लाई चेन फाइनेंस का जो एक्सपीरियंस है, so what makes you successful in kind of bringing these services to your clients? So I mean, like what brings a smile on the faces of your customer, though it's very kind of trade secret for you, but for the benefit of the audience, if you can just put light on that.
So if I talk about my trade secret is the timely delivery. So if I'm delivering my product, if I'm delivering to my customer in time, that is the best thing, because time is value. So time is money when we say. So it's only whenever I have, we are committing something. Like if I give you an example of a very good example, normally most of the management, case studies, they use the dominoes. Domino has given themselves a commitment that they will deliver the pizza in 30 minutes. So this is not for the people. That challenge was to their own, that they will deliver in 30 minutes.
Correct.
So once you give yourself a challenge that you want to do something, you want to achieve something, first you have to give challenge to yourself. Then only you will achieve your goal. So this is my motto in my supply chain business, that whatever I commit for myself first. Yes, I will deliver it. And because I do mostly supply chain financing for those which are not the basically the normal cases, the other banks or other, because when we talk about the structured finance. So we are structuring in a way, it's a trade, it's a kind of a solution we are giving to a customer as per their requirement. So we understand their requirement and we provide them the solution which is beneficial to all the stakeholders.
Thank you so very much. I mean, like, at times I feel so fortunate to have both of you as our business associates, because it's this one thing of doing business, but it's this, doing business with pride, doing business with ownership is just something which is phenomenal with, in both of your cases actually. And that actually pushes us also, to larger extent, when you push the bars, so high that me and Swapnil, we kind of struggle to, cope up with. So that really gives us a lot of courage to go beyond our means and, go beyond our regular thought process to serve you and your clients in the way we really want to, have smiles on your faces. And for the benefit of the rest of the audience here who want to become kind of business associate to Origo, these are the role models for all of us, that how to conduct yourself, how well you can establish yourself on the back of services actually. And Sumit, I mean, like, whenever I talk to you, this brings a new facet to how the way we can actually, bring about the change in whatever we are doing. Swapnil ji, you have if you're on mute, Sumit ji.
No, I'm not on mute, Ji. I'm there.
I could not hear.
Yeah, I just said thanks to you, because your motivation actually keeps us motivated, because that so we can go back and we can push. We can get a push from the customer and come back to you and then push you again.
Thank you so very much. Yeah, joy is mutual. So Swapnil ji, before we take questions from the audience, last words from your side.
No, so I mean, I would like to thank once again Sumit and Dheeraj ji for being our valued DSA and for attending this webinar in such a short notice. I would really like to thank you both. Thanks.
And now we have about 8-10 minutes of we have spoken enough about things. There are people who really want to kind of know about their particular questions. Fine. And I would just read the questions, though those questions are there in Q&A section. Anybody who wants to kind of have further questions, you can even type in Q&A. We will give our honest try to reply here only. But if at all, if we are not able to reply, probably because of scarcity of time, or even at times it could be lack of information, as of now. So we would certainly come back to you and then put replies on mail after consulting with our dear panelists. So in fact, Swapnil, first thing to you, there's a question from Mr. Kamal Yadav. कि कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड कितना है? इतना देर से अपन बात कर रहे हैं, लोगों को ये नहीं बताया कि आखिर ब्याज कितना लगने वाला है.
So typically it ranges between 11.5 to 13% for the trade fee. So this is what we are offering, plus a procurement fee of 1% and a processing fee of 1%. Procurement fee is optional. If client wants to procure from us, then obviously there will be a procurement fee. Otherwise, there is no procurement fee. We have that processing fee, which is 1%. So the cost of fund should be somewhere around 12 to 13% for a client, which means roughly 1.1% per month.
And what is that in Profin, Swapnil?
So Profin, it is somewhere around 2% per month. But that, as Sumit mentioned, can be offsetted by
PD.
the cash discount which we get from supplier, because we are paying upfront. So that would be offset, and that will be passed on to the client. So it is it. Yeah. So typically it would come.
It is zero. Typically, as Sumit ji has put in, ये zero ही है
Yeah.
cost.
KV, I think I'm telling you, cost इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा matter करेगा नहीं. I think 1%, 2% here and there will not make much of a difference. It is only the delivery. If this, as Dheeraj ji has said, na, if we commit and deliver it on time, I think the opportunity for the client is huge. So he can set off 1% here and there from the trade itself, and will not mind that 1% here and there. But we have to deliver on time. That's the only thing. And these are unsecured products. There's no security involved in it. Typically, if you look at a business loan, people take it at 17, 18, 19 odd %. So these are not coming at those kind of a costs, right?
So, another question to you only.
So
Kamal Yadav, you can read it. So, like he's
what is
asking
the advantage? So what is the advantage? Risk is mine always as a client. You just load your margin. So thanks, Kamal, for your question. I would like to answer this question. That advantage, first of all, the advantage is you need not to go out of your office. You will get everything in your office itself. So be it procurement, be it warehousing, be it liquidation, be it supplier payment, everything will be done by Origo. And even if you are buying from your own money, the risk will always be with you. So it's just that we are offering you the services which somebody cannot do on his own. So it's kind of extended services which we are providing with a minimal cost. So I think I could able to answer what Kamal was. Kamal has the question.
In fact, there is another follow-up question जिसमें कि उन्होंने बोला है कि एक बिहार का आदमी अगर सप्लाई कर रहा है किसी तेलंगाना के आदमी को, तो वो भरोसा कैसे करेगा? तो वो भरोसा करने का तो एक ही तरीका है कमल जी कि जो मेरा प्रोसीजर सेट है, अगर उसके थ्रू अपन जा रहे हैं, तो कभी भी जो सप्लायर है उसको हम किसी भी तरीके की प्रॉब्लम में नहीं जाने देंगे. हाँ, अगर मान लीजिए रूल ऑफ द गेम ही ऐसा है कि हमने सिर्फ डिलीवरी पे ही पेमेंट होना है, तो वो जो रिस्क जो अपन कैरी कर रहे हैं ट्रेड का, वो कैरी करना ही पड़ेगा. बट हम लोग तो हमेशा यही सजेस्ट करते हैं कि जो क्वालिटी चेक होना है वो जिस समय लोडिंग हो रहा है उस समय हो जाए, और जो पेमेंट होना है जैसे ही लोडिंग कंफर्म होता है और क्वालिटी चेक कंफर्म होता है उसी समय, उससे पहले हमारे पास बायर से पेमेंट आ जाएगा और हम सप्लायर को वो पास ऑन करेंगे जैसे ही लोडिंग वहां पे हो जाएगी. बायर के पास पेमेंट आने के बाद ही बायर अपनी गाड़ी को रिलीज करेगा. तो इस तरीके से अपने आप में प्रोसेस ही अपने को भरोसा दिलाती है, और अदरवाइज हम लोग ये सब जो ट्रेड में कर नहीं पाते हैं इन जनरल, जो यहाँ पे हम प्रोसेसेस के थ्रू गवर्न करने का प्रयास करेंगे. In fact, there are few other questions, and we have a question from Santosh Jhamarji, Dheeraj ji, Sumit ji. In your view, how much percentage of total size of agriculture commodity is getting financed in its crop cycle? Sumit ji, to you.
See, honestly telling you, it's a very tricky question because see, agri has been funded both by traditional and obviously the non-traditional segments. There are a lot of local money lenders also who finance. Okay, but if you look at the entire cycle, wherein I think to my sense only 25-30% is funded through the traditional channel. The rest still is funded through the non-traditional channel, which is your Adathiyas or the local money lenders. So the market is still very sizable. There is a lot of avenue to structure and standardize the processes, and a lot of those people who are right now giving around 30-40 odd % can come to a normal channel wherein I think they can get it at a 12 to 16, 15, 13 odd %, which obviously will depend upon the product they're gonna ask for. So that's I think so there's no concrete answer to it, but these are the ballpark numbers which we discuss on different forums, wherein what we understand is around 25% is something which gets funded through the normal banking channel and all. The rest still is being done by the non-traditional channel. Rather, we call them the traditional channels because that's how the agri was funded. So non-traditional is typically the bankers.
So this is unconventional, whatever is happening.
Yeah. So I think a lot of scope of people moving from that side to this side, and that is what I think can happen if these kind of platforms can come in and play their role. Yeah.
Dheeraj ji, your take on this? Yeah. Swapnil.
No, let Dheeraj ji
Yeah,
answer.
Dheeraj ji ka
you have
janna
a
cha rahe
question.
the. Dheeraj ji ko
I
bhi
just still
pose
feel
kiya tha same
because
question.
if we talk about these traditional channels, the selling of the crops, if you recall our past, so most of the crops which the price, suppose there was a farmer जिसको आपने बोला कि हम इस crop को लेंगे at this price, and after that once the crop is ready, and then they say कि okay नहीं इसमें तो ये problem है and we are not taking this price. So you know there is no price confirmation. So, but when we talk about the not about the traditional channels, about the organized channels, if we go through bankers or these kind of platforms, then we have a sure shot on the price. So I think that would be the most beneficial for the farmers, the farm produce, that whatever the price has been fixed, they will get that price in all these crops. If we see the developed countries, they sell these crops with the future contracts. So future contract is like this only. So the price is fixed, it is fixed.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, true, very true. So we have one question from Mr. Vikas Kumar from ICAR, which I would want to reply. So Vikas, you can actually, either you can browse our site so as to look at the opportunities to work with us, whether it is on employment side or as business associate, both sides. Or else, your coordinates are there with us. Somebody from our team would contact you on this. So there is one question. Swapnil, for you, can we offer international agro-commodity? This is for me only. Actually,
this is for you only.
Yeah.
On
So
e-Mandi.
So as soon as I thought international, so I went into trading. So actually, for me, Himanshu, is about commodity. Fine, and soybean is as Indian commodity as guar is. So soybean is not as such international as such, but whatever is sown and grown in India can be traded on us. And going forward, probably whatever is going to be imported also should be tradable with us. So that there are no restrictions as to the origin of the material. जो भी है जहां से भी अगर वो material trade otherwise हो रहा है तो हमारे पास भी trade होगा. This is how it is. I think as of now, and Manohar ji, thanks a lot. आपका appreciation हमें help करता है कि हम आगे भी ऐसे ही knowledge sessions लेके आ देंगे आप लोगों के लिए और हमारे friends जैसे सुमित जी हैं, धीरज जी हैं, वो हमें oblige करते रहते हैं आगे तो कम से कम ये है कि we get a very good platform to talk about things. And Manoj ji, thanks a lot for joining us, because if we have an audience as attentive as you, then at least we feel that our lot of job has been done, because this is all about knowledge sharing. This is all about telling the people that whatever the possibilities are to work together. And I think we don't have further questions. So one more question has come, which probably will take the last question. This is again from Mr. Santosh Jawar. In your view, what are the difficulties in availing trade finance for a customer? So all three of you can put light on this. This will be the last question we'll take, and then we'll wind up. So the question is, what are the difficulties in availing trade finance for a customer as of now?
The important thing is that clients are not aware, because the awareness is the only thing. There is a gap between a facility being there and the person who's looking for it. So our role as a business associate comes into picture, wherein we go, even the biggest of the guys to whom I have met, they were not aware about a couple of the products. And that was strange to me, because they are in the trade for a long time. They should be aware of it. So the biggest, and that's an opportunity for us, because eventually that is wherein we play a role as a business associate, that, okay, this guy is sitting so big that he's not aware about all these things. So the awareness kind of a thing is something which is lacking right now. And that gives us a lot of opportunity to us as a business associate to pitch them and make them understand this is also happening in the market. Because see, businesses are still being done traditionally only. There are only 5-10% of the entire universe who have moved to those technology things and all that. आज भी लाला जी काम वैसे ही करते हैं, मतलब उनको कोई नई चीज बता दो तो he'll be like, अरे ये कुछ भी बोलते हैं टाइप है ना, so they'll not, it'll be difficult for them to digest that this can happen, right? Somebody can make a payment on my behalf is something which is a like, oh, why will he make a payment and all that? So eventually those kind of things is what we make, we need to help them understand, give them knowledge about it, and awareness is the only thing wherein I think the gap is there right now. Rest, I don't think so there is any problem in selling the product. Once the guy understands and do one single trade as per the product, I think the next thing is going to be, he'll be happy with it and he'll be telling you, thanks boss, you have done something good for me. That's our experience till now.
Swapnil?
Yes. Yeah. I think Krishna Sharma has one question. I am new to this area. How can I join you to start my journey as business associate?
So Krishna,
so you have been able to source one BA, huh?
So Krishna, आपने जो करना था ना, जो वो आपने जो स्टेप लेना था वो ले लिया है कि आप इस वेबिनार के पार्ट हो, इस वेबिनार के पार्ट हो, आपने अपना इंटेंट भी क्लियर किया है, आपने अपना लिमिटेशन भी बताया कि आप नए हो, बट नया होना कोई लिमिटेशन है नहीं यहाँ पे, क्योंकि बाकी जो काम करेंगे वो साथ में ही करेंगे. जब हम बिजनेस एसोसिएट बोलते हैं तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हम साथ में ही जुड़ के काम करने वाले हैं. तो हमारी टीम में से मिस्टर राहुल आपको कॉल करेंगे, कल आपके पास कॉल आएगा और फिर उसके बाद में अपना एक नया जर्नी स्टार्ट होगा. थैंक यू सो वेरी मच. So yeah, I mean, like Sumit, we have the first lead out of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Great.
And thank you so very much, guys. I mean, like, see, we have no question further as well. Even if we have the questions, we'll route it to you, and so as we can reply together. And Sumitji, it was a wonderful discussion with you guys. And Dheeraj, I will like, one, the knowledge and the smile both goes, kind of, hand in hand in your case. And we can't be more blessed to have you both on this this webinar. And I'm hopeful that in future, probably we may come with another set of, webinar on some other different subject. And probably we may have a kind of, I may have a one-on-one interview also with both of you separately on separate webinars. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, JB.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be part of this. Thank you so much, and thank you to all the participants.
Yeah, we must thank all the participants who spared the time and joined this webinar. Thank you so very much to all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you.